Hello there, and welcome to the Almost Homestead. Today, we're trying out a new method of cold stratification. But first, what does that mean? Cold stratification is helping seeds to have the experience of a winter, because some seeds will not grow unless they have that. Sometimes it's because the seeds need the moisture, the cold moisture of a winter. It helps to soften the outside of the seed so that the seedling can break through. And we're not always able to just leave our seeds outside all winter for a variety of reasons. And when we are not able to do that, we have to find a way to cold stratify the seeds. And that's what we're doing today. Last year, I did this a really different way, and I'll post the link in the comments to the video of how I did it last year, which was basically, I took a Ziploc bag, I took a square of paper towel, I moistened it, put the seeds and the paper towel inside the Ziploc bag and kept it in my refrigerator for 6 to 8 weeks. And it did work, but you have to be so super careful, because if the amount of moisture is wrong, your seeds can start to mold. And that happened with some of my seeds. It happened specifically with the mallows. And so I decided this year to try something different, both because I did have the problem with mold last year, and also because this method that I'm going to do today doubles as both a cold stratification system and as a greenhouse to help your plants start to grow a little earlier in the spring, which I'm pretty excited about. So what you're going to need for this is a milk jug, some potting soil, seeds, clearly, and some kind of tape, probably duct tape. Make sure that your potting soil is already moistened before you start this process, and then we're going to make this milk jug into two parts, top and bottom, so that we can put everything in it that needs to be. So the way I do that is I just cut into it so that it makes a little tear. And then I'm just going to cut around it. You don't want to cut too low, or there won't be room for enough soil. I've already done this with 2 other jugs, but I wanted to do it start to finish on one. So you're going to scoop out some of your potting soil into your jug, into the bottom of your jug. Now, depending on the type of seeds you're planting, you may need to put more or less dirt in it. For example, I'm probably going to do this with some cilantro. The cilantro doesn't need cold stratification, but it does need to have time to germinate and start to grow before it gets cold. And last year, I tried this and it got hot so fast that the cilantro didn't have time to grow before it got hot and it bolted. So if I were going to do cilantro, I wouldn't have very deep soil at all, because that one, I want it to grow at the end of the year, that one I want to grow close to the time it would if I planted it outside. So maybe just a couple of weeks early. And it doesn't need to be, doesn't need a long time to grow in the pot. But today I'm doing lavender, broccoli, and anise hyssop. And those 3 are all ones that are going to be in here a while, so I want it to be a bit deeper. So you're going to get your dirt in there. pat it down a little bit, and then you're going to put your seeds. So this one is an experiment. These are lavender seeds from my local community garden, from their lavender plants. So we're gonna see. I don't have a ton of confidence, but it's worth a shot, right? Nothing ventured, nothing gained. I don't have much luck growing lavender to begin with. So this method is also going to help your plants to grow a little sooner than they would because of the fact that it is like a greenhouse. So where did I just put my spoon? Here, spoon, you can probably see it. Oh, never mind, it's right here. So now we're just going to put however much soil that particular seed calls to have on top of it. Most just need a little bit. This one, of course, didn't come with a guide since they were seeds from someone's garden, the community garden. But I've planted lavender. I've tried to plant it a million times. It's just failed every time. So where's the lid for this? Should I knock it off? Yes. I forgot one other thing that we need. We need a Sharpie because we're gonna write the name of the herb on the outside, and then we're gonna trace it on the inside. Let me go get that. Okay, so we've got our Sharpie. We're going to start by writing the name on the outside. Don't write it too close to the bottom, or when we tape it, the tape will go over it. Lav, which is short for lavender, of course. And then I'm just gonna trace over those letters on the inside so that if rain fades the outside, the inside should still be fine, I hope. Okay, then we're going to put the lid on the top and we're going to tape it. We're going to tape around the jug. Now, I found that it's easier to cut chunks. Ignore the timer. It's for some Brussels sprouts I'm making a different video about. So we're just going to tape around it. Just one layer to kind of seal it together to help it have that greenhouse effect, keeping the warmth inside your little mini greenhouse. And one more little piece. And now all we're gonna do is take this little guy outside. You're gonna want to put him in a place, basically any place, but as it starts to warm up in the spring, you'll want to keep it out of direct sunlight because the direct sunlight will make this too warm and can dry out your soil, because there's just enough room that some of your snow and your rain can get in here, keep this the right amount of moisture. But if you put this in direct sunlight, it'll get too hot and your soil will get dry. So I'm going to do this to my other two and I'll be right back. And last but certainly not least, we take our little greenhouses and put them outside. We've got our lavender and anise hyssop, but also we have chamomile, we have mint, what else do we have? Brussels sprouts are in this one. You just can't really see it well. These are black-eyed Susans, Tulsi, or holy basil, echinacea. What is this one? Oh, marshmallow. These are calendulas that I want to grow a little bit earlier in the season than they would naturally. And borage. And now we just leave these and they sit here and they do their thing until we're ready to plant them in the spring. Awesome. Are you cold stratifying any of your plants? Let me know in the comments.